What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Summit film sesh. I'm Antonio Perez, a co-host of Sideline Summit, which is on this channel. Make sure you check out our latest episode if you haven't already. Today's film sesh is almost like a doubleheader type of deal. We have Oklahoma City Thunder rookie Jalen Williams, or JDub, as some people call him, and then Orlando Magic rookie and Rookie of the Year frontrunner Paolo Banchero. The Rookie of the Year race has been heating up slightly as Jalen Williams has had some superb play in the year 2023. Essentially, he's really picked it up for this Thunder team, who finds himself in the midst of the play-in race and truly a bright future once they have Chet Holmgren come back. As for the Orlando Magic and Paolo Banchero, Paolo has been the best scorer on that team, bar none. The Orlando Magic kind of, I want to say, misdirectionless. They weren't really expecting playoffs, but they are a little bit in no man's land. They're not in Wemby land, but they're not competing for the play-in. They aren't just eliminated yet. But they're in a tough spot, and Paolo and Franz Wagner, guys like that, have been huge for that team, and they also have a bright future ahead of them. What we are going to be talking about today, though, is how did Jalen Williams close the gap somewhat between him and Paolo in this race? Paolo has been running away for months. As you look at their stats for all year, it is clear that Paolo is running away with this thing, but that's not really why we're debating it. Let's take a look at their stats in March instead. As you can see, Paolo has the advantage in some spots, but JDub has been truly efficient with a true shooting of above 60%, which is wildly amazing for a rookie, especially on a team that features a superstar like SGA and a truly good, combo guard in Josh Giddey. Without further ado, we are going to get into the scoring and playmaking of each of their games. I feel like both of them have a similar game to the jersey I'm wearing. A guy like Jaylen Brown, very good three-level scorers, who make really good plays off the ball and have a little bit of playmaking here and there. We're going to hop into Paolo Banchero first. So on this play, Paolo is going to call for a screen from Wendell Carter, which is going to get the center off of him, and not honestly into a favorable matchup of Scotty Barnes, but what he does realize is that the center leaves Wendell Carter completely wide open, which in many scenarios, that's what you do, because Paolo is, of course, a score-first guy. He is a dangerous threat with the basketball in his hands. I don't blame the center here. But what Paolo does, he keeps his eyes down court, and he notices there's two guys on him. Pascal doesn't rotate off of Markelle Fultz in time, which leaves Wendell wide open in the middle of the lane for the deuce. Very good play by Paolo. I mean, not really known as the playmaker, but you do see the flashes here and there of him being able to be a complete Swiss Army knife. He's the elite size and the passing ability, along with, of course, the elite three-level scoring. Very good play by Paolo here. So what looks like an ISO situation here, Paolo is going to drive right and force Brook Lopez up to him. Again, while being so dangerous with the ball in his hand, it does leave somebody open if you're coming to double. And that's what he's going to do right here. He's going to make him pay by giving it to Wendell Carter for another easy deuce. This pairing is a great two-man game. The assists don't show, but Paolo is very good at drawing the double and then making the right play. Another part of playmaking is necessarily not always passing. It is the ability to make plays. And Paolo here makes a great off-ball play. So as we see here, Jonathan Isaac just dished it off to Markelle Fultz, who has it on the low post against the smaller Jalen Brunson. But that's not where we're going with here. What Isaac's going to do, he's going to set this down screen. He's going to set this off-ball screen for Banchero, who's going to wrap around it real tight and then find himself right in front of the bucket with a trailing Julius Randle. Of course, for the easy deuce and the slam. I think this is also a part of playmaking. Moving off ball, Banchero does it well, and honestly, Jalen Williams does it also very well. In this situation here, he gets the screen off from Fultz, and now he's getting guarded by, of course, the smaller Tyler Hero in this situation. Now what he's going to do, he's going to drive right, which causes the other wing defender to collapse in on him. But by doing this behind the back, it really creates such good separation, because as Hero is expecting help, he is over lunging on that side, but the other dude isn't committing too much, as he doesn't want to leave a shooter open, which a shooter's open anyway. But Paolo, by doing that behind the back, it really just essentially lets him move his weight where Tyler Hero's isn't going. And of course, he is very strong through contact. Even though Hero makes a respectable recovery, Paolo just does such a great job here through the contact, which I think both these rookies do exceptionally well. Here's another play against the New York Knicks. This time, of course, we're talking about scoring the basketball here. He calls for a pick on Julius Randle, who I guess must have been giving him fits or something. But he calls for the pick, and Randle does a good job getting over it, not letting Paolo go anywhere. and really just sticking to him. So what Paolo has to do, he stays with it, and now we're in a situation where ideally you'd pass the ball up to Wendell Carter here at the top of the key, but he's going to keep messing with it, and he's going to draw a foul on the jumper, and of course it goes in because he's at superb strength. And really, I haven't seen a rookie this polished. I mean, before Luka Doncic, I truly don't know when. This is such a polished rookie. LeBron James even coming in didn't have such a polished three-level scoring game. He did have a kind of wonky jumper, which now has clearly been fixed. But, I mean, Paolo, that's such a strong shot to hit from roughly, I would say, 10, 15 feet out against the tough Julius Randle. Paolo's going to get the ball off the screen here. I mean, I guess he wasn't playing fair with these New York Knicks. As you see, Franz is coming up. This is going to be a dribble handoff, but Paolo, as he's slowing up to hand it off, the change of pace catches Julius Randle lacking, and then he's going to go all the way to the cup, finish for what should have been a tough and one. Nonetheless, very good play by Paolo. The change of pace there is part of being the elite three-level scorer that he's going to be and perennial all-star that he is going to turn out to be. Very good play by Paolo Banchero there. Now, there is another dude to this video, and that's the dude who is slowly but surely rising for the Oklahoma City Thunder, Jalen Williams. And we're going to be talking about the same points, the off-ball playmaking and the elite scoring that has been on display. Jalen Williams' first clip here is against the very feisty and nasty Patrick Beverley, and this is, of course, on LeBron's record-setting night here. Now, just like the last clip we saw from Paolo, I think Jalen does a very good job at the change of pace. It looks like he's going to accept that screen and maybe come off of it a little more slightly, but he's going to actually speed up, and I think he's one of the fastest players in the NBA with the ball in his hands. Very Fox-esque in that category, but I think this also just reminds me of Jaylen Brown as well. Again, the change of pace is super huge for these guys, and Jalen Williams has some of the best change of pace with the ball in his hands in the NBA. On this play, Jalen Williams is matched up with one of my favorite comps for him, Jaylen Brown, and what he's going to do here is truly something special. I mean, he's going to get him to lean all the way to the right, hit him with a nasty behind the back. Look at Jaylen Brown here. We're talking about one of the premier on-ball defenders, one of the great two-way players in our game, and he's got him staring at his own bench when there's a game going on, and OKC's up 20 against the second-best team in the East. I mean, nasty behind the back. Jalen does recover well, Jaylen Brown that is, but Jalen Williams, too tough, hangs in the air for a nasty and one, again, on one of the best two-way players in the NBA. This is a truly special move by Jalen Williams. I'm truly in awe by this play. Here we have a play of Jalen Williams being the lead man in transition. And quite honestly, a lot of situations you're looking maybe kick out three. Maybe you're looking to get to the basket. But I honestly like what he does here. He attacks his man, gets right back into his body, and then by using the plant on the right foot, gets himself in a nice position for a fadeaway jumper off the one leg. No contest, really. Nice, easy bucket for him. And again, I love the mid-range shot selection here, because, it's either corner three or it's a layup in this league in most fast breaks. And he does a sensational job at catching them where they least expect it. Here, Jalen Williams is going to get switched on to arguably the Defensive Player of the Year in Jaren Jackson Jr. And just because he's a great rim protector, don't sleep on his perimeter defense. This is truly a guy who can guard all wing positions. And Jalen Williams is a wing, but I mean, what he's going to do to Jaren Jackson here is absolutely silly. He's going to dance with arguably the Defensive Player of the Year and All-Star Jaren Jackson Jr. Look at that separation. I mean, Jesus, off two simple moves, and then we're going to knock down the jumper. He clearly is in love with the mid-range. This is something I truly adore, and part of his Jaylen Brown comp. He just made the Defensive Player of the Year arguably look so silly, and then cans down a jumper. I mean, this is like truly special. Him and Paolo are in love with the mid-range. I love how they get their shots off. They're just both really, really good, and they're both going to be all-stars in this league. Now, it's much harder to find the flashy pass for him, but I think he really eats as a playmaker off ball because, playmaking isn't always your number of assists. What's going to happen here is Lou Dort's going to get it in halfway transition, I guess you would say, and Williams' guy is going to, of course, go to Dort, who looks like the wide open man. JDub is just going to go backdoor, good look by Dort, and we're going to punch that in for an easy two. If Jalen Williams was performing this way all year, we're looking at an all-time Rookie of the Year race. I'm talking Jason Kidd versus Grant Hill type of race. These two have both been spectacular this month. as Paolo clearly had a shooting slump in February, he still won Eastern Conference, Rookie of the Month. And Jalen Williams has been utterly phenomenal. He's going to win it in the West this year. And if they look, I mean, next year these two are probably going to be fighting for some all-star spots. It's going to be tough in the loaded conferences and the loaded talent in this league, but I do think one of them can get it done. But with that being said, Jalen Williams has not played this year all year, and it is unfortunate. He has been partially doing the dirty work, and he's been partially, getting buckets when asked to. Paolo has been the number one guy for the Magic all year. I do have to lean his way, unfortunately. It's kind of like the Luka Doncic, Trae Young situation. Luka has been so good all season, but Trae was absolutely spectacular outside of the All-Star break. But unfortunately, it is a full year award. You could argue that maybe Jalen Williams is the most valuable rookie, and he does more for his team, and Paolo maybe only just scores the ball. But to be quite honest, they have the same playmaking role. Franz is mainly asked to do the playmaking on that team. Fultz, Suggs have bigger playmaking roles. And then for the Thunder, Shea, Giddey has playmaking roles. Poku has playmaking roles. I mean, it's not much you can really ask these two to do with, creating for others. They are the guys that need to be created for and can create their own shot. Huge fan of both. And I can't wait for the future for these guys. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure, again, if you haven't seen our last episode, I truly think you should go check it out. It's been one of our best yet. If you like this video, like and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you don't miss an episode, you don't miss a short, you don't miss a Summit film sesh, any of that stuff. A lot of great content coming your way. Thank you so much for tuning in and have a good one.